One of the biggest hurdles facing the Beijing Olympics, and this one you won't find on the track. U.S. Olympic team members were in San Jose, California this weekend preparing to leave for China to compete for the gold. But while in Beijing, there'll be another battle playing out, and this one over the images the world will see. Some of their secrets are already out. There were those images of rehearsals for the opening ceremony shot by South Korean television that were leaked. The simulated waterfalls, giant whales, dancers twirling ribbons. All part of the dramatic countdown you weren't supposed to see, at least not yet.
This is the first shot across the bow for the Chinese, who are going to try very, very hard to control the images that are coming out of the Olympics.
Beijing is reneging on its pledge to make the internet completely open to the more than 20,000 journalists covering the games. As reporters arrived, they quickly learned certain websites were off limits.
I tried to find out something about Tibet, and it was impossible.
Websites about Tibet, China's connection to Darfur, and the spiritual group Falun Gong, all restricted. China has now bowed to international pressure, easing some of those restrictions, weakening what's known as the Great Firewall in China.
Can you imagine if during the Athens Games, the Greek government has said at the last minute, actually there won't be internet access for any of the journalists working at the Games. No one would have put up with that for a second.
And there have been so many other images already out of China's control. The mass evictions. Human rights groups point to the more than 1 million Chinese whose homes were demolished to prepare for the Games. The pollution, the smog still hovering despite dramatic attempts to reduce it, shutting down factories and clearing traffic to clear the skies. And then there was the algae, picked up by a force of 10,000 city workers and volunteers. The U.S. sailing team told our reporter in Beijing they began training for it.
We've actually developed techniques for, while we're racing, of getting it off the bottom of our boat, because it dramatically slows your speed down.
The algae, for now, is gone, and so are the darkened skies. This weekend, rain brought a rare glimpse of blue. But ultimately, it may be out of China's control, perhaps like the countless other images that will soon emerge from Beijing.